Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It's Tuesday, February 6th. We got our coffee. So I didn't know whether we continue on with what we talked about yesterday. About why millions of people are feeling lonely and how we feel about ourselves. And how, if you're trying to impress somebody, to me anyways, that says more about yourself than it does about who you're trying to impress. If that makes any sense. So hang tight. All right, welcome back. Yes. So I thought I'd, just say something about the comments on the last video. That thanks so much. You say such kind words. I enjoy doing it. And I'm not sure, Jason, whether you think I'm leaving or you're leaving. I'd hate to have you leave. And I'm not going anywhere. The Deutsch tractor, we got that going. Ended up being a fuel filter and low on fuel. We got some water in the water separator on which is odd because my diesel tank, which is a 500-gallon tank, has got a water separator on it, a filter. But over time, we've gained some condensation and end up getting iced up in the filter. And I do use cut diesel during the winter because it gets cold up here. I think it's 70-30 with kerosene. And we figured out the problem with the cows in the water. The wind got to blowing so bad that it actually caused a break in 12-2 wire that went to that building. I mean, I never would have believed it if I hadn't seen it myself. So let's go back to what we were talking about yesterday. Just an addition onto it. And that is, why do people try to impress other people? It's a good question. Why do they? So let's break it down in that. If you're trying to impress that person, what makes you think that they're on a higher pedestal that you have to step up to match that? See, when you're doing this, we need to talk about it because it says more about how you feel about yourself than how they feel about you. And let me tell you, a lot of these people that are, professional actors in movies and rich and famous and blah, 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 they deal with fake people all the time. They don't have hardly any really good relationships. They have their fan clubs and all that, but the fan clubs, all the fans have got these people on a pedestal and can't talk just down to earth, one-on-one. And that person would find it refreshing to find someone that wasn't trying to blow smoke up their ass, basically, is what I call it. See, the way I look at it is, we all put our pants on the same direction, or the same way, at least most of us do, right? And it doesn't matter whether you are famous or whether you are homeless, you still put your pants on the same way. And in saying that, if you put your pants on the same way as I put my pants on, why would I speak down to one and up to the other? Because I was already saying a lot about yourself. That you think you are way better than that homeless man. That you're a better person. And that you're not as good as the famous person. Where are you getting that information? It says that homeless person is less than. Is it stature? You know that, well, if I'm, here and the homeless guy is here, well, wait a minute. Now, I know a lot of homeless people that used to be way up here. I don't personally know, but I know of them that have lost it all. And that's, or lost their jobs, or they lived in an area that the cost of rent went sky high. There's a number of different reasons why people become homeless. You could be looking at someone famous that is destined to become homeless at any time. That could become homeless at any time. You could become homeless at any time. And then if you're a homeless person, do you then think that you're less than the average person out there? See, I'm not talking about what they think. I'm talking about what you think. Because every human interaction you have on a daily basis, you must be making that judgment call of whether you are better than or less than or equal. I'm just asking you, where are you getting that information to make that determination? My tendency is I approach all people the same way. Because I'm not looking to impress anybody. When I was younger, yeah. Spent a lot of time trying to impress people that I thought were better than, that ended up not being better than. But at the time, I had put them on their own pedestal. They didn't put themselves there. I did. Saying I was always less than, And you tend to do stupid shit when you feel less than, of trying to impress the other person, and the other person is like going, what the hell? Why is he acting that way? Why is he acting goofy? Because most often, when you try to impress other people, and if they're, like I say, if in a band that everybody knows, or even your local police officer, why do people get choked up when they talk to a police officer? Because they had them at this upper level of protector of the people, protector of the community. But I know you're just sitting there saying, where's he going with this? Where is he going with this? What's going to be the ultimate answer? The ultimate answer is you don't have self-confidence. If you've got self-confidence in yourself, you won't feel the need to try to impress anybody. Let's use this for an example, because part of you guys are either auto mechanics or repair guys, all right? If you take a Zama carburetor, or let's say any carburetor, because some may be working on Hollies with a car and the other one Zama's with a weed eater, okay? But let's say you take a carburetor. A carburetor you've seen hundreds of times that you've taken apart, cleaned, and put back together to the point of where you can do it with your eyes closed. Okay? See where I'm going with this? Now, if somebody shows up with that carburetor and it's not working, you won't feel the need to try to impress that person with your skills of doing that carburetor because you've done it so many times that you are very self-confident in doing it. So it's just like automatic. You're not trying to impress the person that's on that side of the counter of how well you can do that Zama carburetor or that Holly, because you don't feel the need to try to impress that person. You're self-confident in what you do. And that's the biggest thing with most people, is if they can get to that level of self-confidence. Now, if you're getting into something new or you're starting a new job, it takes a while to build the self-confidence in a sense of knowing how. But you should already have some self-confidence and accomplishment of what you already accomplished, right? And a lot of times that new job is something similar to the job that you had before, but maybe more pay or what have you. It's like the guy that I like to talk, either guys that are proficient in Taekwondo, black belts, or the best of the best in the military of your Navy SEALs, your Special Forces, the elites. Just the mannerism of how they walk and how they talk. They don't feel the need to impress anybody. They've accomplished a level within themselves, and they were driven to their inner core as deep as it could go, that you could do it, keep going. That they are full of self-confidence. I mean, you've been around people that have no clue about what they're talking about. And I know you've been around the people that I call one-uppers, and that is, if you've done this certain achievement, they've done it better, maybe twofold, threefold. Why do they feel the need to have to say that? Again, it says more about themselves than it does about you. It says to me when I hear that person hasn't got self-confidence, especially with the need to constantly trying to better one up the other person, instead of saying, wow, that's pretty good. Well, I've done that 3 times better. Where does that have to come into play? The core is self-confidence. And self-confidence is something that you develop. You're not born with self-confidence. That's a learned behavior. So that's a good thing. You can still learn how to become self-confident. Self-confident is just being confident, being okay with yourself. I'm not saying that you don't want to continually do better. I'm just saying that you're good enough wherever you're at, and you want to learn more, is what I'm saying. And that plays into yesterday's video of with the people being fake people and people being lonely because they aren't self-confident. They don't feel great about themselves. They feel less than. See, a lot of times with self-confidence, it's how you're raised. If your parents allowed you to experiment and try stuff, and allowed you to fail, but still dusted you off and stood you back up, you're going to learn at an earlier age than if your parents were constantly, trying to put you in a bubble like Bubble Boy. Because you lack the experiences of failing. And failing is good. Failing is just the opposite of winning, right? I mean, how do we know pleasure unless we know pain? Kind of like that, teaching the kids when they were young. The faucets, hot, cold. But if you don't have cold, how can you have hot, What do you guys think about that? And I did the example with the carburetor because a lot of you guys are, turn wrenches. And I try to use examples instead of just telling you something so that you get a better picture of it. The key is the more you do it, the more time, the more experience. From those experiences, you know what works, what doesn't work, and you gain wisdom. As you gain more wisdom, a lot of times your confidence grows with it. So you need to try new things. You need to learn that what not to do and what to do. And when you become confident in doing it, your self-confidence level will raise because you have overcome an obstacle in your life that you never thought you could do. So it gives you that pump of serotonin, in your brain. It makes you happy because you have accomplished it. And you may have tried it 10, 15, 20 times. But finally, that one time you accomplished the task. And how did you learn? How did you accomplish that task? From the 19 failings that time experience of taking the 19 times that it didn't work and figuring out what you did wrong and now what you did right to accomplish it. And like Amos says, you could also be that person that tries it 20 times the same way, over and over and over again, doing it the same way, thinking they're going to get a different result. And that is insanity. But that's our lives in a nutshell. We're constantly interacting with new things, and we're growing. And the more years you're on this earth, the more things you're going to have done, have accomplished. But what I can tell you is self-confidence doesn't come with age. It just simply comes with knowing who you are and being grounded. And not feeling that you're better than this group on the streets and less than this one in the limelight. You need to treat the people on both ends of your spectrum the same way you treat a coworker, with the same respect, and talk the same. Alright, so on that note, you guys have a great Tuesday. I'm going to try to get a video out today. Not sure on what yet. And I had a quick question for you, Jason, and this goes to everybody else. Now, Jason has sent me some photos over through my Gmail account that you guys have access to. And is it okay, Jason, to use some of your photos in a video of like how to storage on how to store things, and maybe the bicycle thing? And maybe you guys could do that, is when you send me something through the Gmail, a picture of this and that, let me know if it's okay to show the group. Because I don't want to show the group and then have you guys upset with me. So I'll wait to hear from you, Jason, on the photos that you had, like of the box and that stuff. But we're going to continue with the lighting out in Clouds Bay. So clean up. We're looking at painting, like Travis had mentioned, painting the walls white out there so it makes it even pop even more. So Claude was saying something about using the pressure washer to wash the walls down. And then we're going to use an industrial sprayer and just spray everything white, cover up the boxes with plastic. And it's a work in progress. And that's your life, is a work in progress. That's my life, is a work in progress. Alright guys, if you have any comments, questions, what have you, you know where to put them. We got a great group here. If I can't answer, or if I don't get to it quick enough, I know a number of people that are on this channel that will get to it. Have a great day.